Samir moved from New York, I moved from Singapore. So we'd seen these cocktail menus in where we were working and been very alcohol forward, small menus. And we came to Bombay and Demi worked on our first menu. And for me, that's still one of the best menus we worked on. But they were alcohol forward. Like we had a martini called Rice and Spice, where the vodka was sitting with rice for the longest time. And we had a little bit of the spice was actually coming from a little bit of cardamom, very little. It was a beautiful crisp martini. That menu, it was a regular menu, did not do well for us. And then we started looking at the context of it is we've all grown up on sugared up mojitos and Long Island iced teas. And then you suddenly have these extremely alcohol forward cocktails. That was one. But the aha moment for us was we had a Christmas menu which sat on the table and it opened and the Christmas tree opened. And people were really interacting with that menu. And so we said, why not make the act of ordering a cocktail much more fun? And hence we came up with cocktail books. And our cocktail number of people ordering cocktails went up. So then we were like, okay, people are ordering cocktails. Now let's focus more on the type of cocktails we put on there. I feel at Bombay Canteen, it was a learning experience, and at Opedro, we got it quite spot on. But now the pressure is much more. I just finished a cocktail menu tasting for Opedro, and I was like, this does not work. We can't do this because just the expectations are so high, right? It's a huge part because literally for a good restaurant, your drinks are going to be 55% of your revenue, right? And good cocktails is a reason to go out. Like I know people who will write to me saying, we go to Bombay Canteen because of the consistency of cocktails and because of Harish who's there at the bar and I'll have a great conversation with him, right? That for me is when it's perfect, right? So we do spend a lot of time on it, and I feel earlier you could get away with having bad cocktails. I think now it's a necessity.
Yeah, I think it's pretty equal. That split of how the food and drinks are, it's pretty important.
We're not there yet, but my big, huge problem with beverage programs in India is how I feel like people who are going out to drink are being treated like children. So then, like, there is a lot of, it's very sugary. There's a lot of tickiness to a lot of the beverage programs, which I feel like we need to sort of grow into more elegance and sophistication and more innovation. I'm almost always disappointed by cocktails at restaurants, and I just don't even bother to have them anymore. Bar snacks, on the other hand, if a restaurant has designed a fantastic chakna or bar snack menu, I'm probably going to have half my meal off that. That's ridiculously important. I feel like it's massively underestimated and not paid enough attention to. Is the kind of snacks that you design to have, even if I'm not drinking with my fresh lime soda or if I'm having it with like a beer.
Give me some examples that you've really liked.
I mean, my gold standard from like my early journalism days is that bar called Ambience. Yeah. Which used to have murukku with Sichuan sauce. It was damn good. I'm like, if you can satisfy me like that, like where I'm going to the restaurant sometimes for the like I'm going to go drink beer at Ambience because of the chakna is so good, right? It's like that, and I don't know if I'm like maybe mixing up like the chakna because it was way back like 10 years ago and before the pandemic, and a lot of my memories are like fuzzy from after after pandemic, like time warp. But like the chintus were really fun. There's about like for example, clubs do a really good chakna. The Harbour Bar does a really fun chakna platter.
Harbour Bar Taj.
Yeah, and it's just, it doesn't matter, the category doesn't matter. You can go to a dive bar, you can go to a 5-star hotel bar, you can go to a fun casual restaurant. If the bar snacks are fantastic, then I know that you've really thought about your beverage program, that you've thought about your bar menu.
Chintus, since you mentioned, are these chaknas at Bombay Canteen.
Yeah.
And Harbour Bar is the first bar in Bombay.
License 001, yeah.
At the Taj Mahal Colaba.
But to your cocktails conversation, do you think, I feel the cocktail trajectory in India, like, and correct me if I'm wrong, in the last 3 years, I feel it has accelerated.
Completely agree.
Like, it's like Indian food
Yeah.
8 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, our expectations were so low then of Indian food.
Yeah.
But now when someone opens an Indian food restaurant, you expect it to be on point, being regional, seasonal ingredients.
Yeah.
Because it's just like people have evolved, because a lot of restaurants started doing it well. And that conversation started, I feel, with cocktails and just with the right people who worked abroad and coming back, like the likes of Arijit, Pankaj, who've worked all over the world and are coming back and have brought those right practices with them.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to get better from here.
Yeah. We're getting there. We're not there yet, though.
Never.
Yeah, but it's true. Like, I feel like, how Indian food now, a restaurant that serves Indian food brings a little bit of the restaurant's personality and the chef's personality on the plate, right? Or like the identity or the character of the restaurant. You can like sometimes have a bite of food blindfolded and you just know which restaurant it comes from because there's a signature style to it. I mean, I feel like now there are so many places supplying rolls. Your butter chicken roll, and every place that's doing a butter chicken roll has its own sort of mark of this is how we do it, right? That it would be great to have that coming in more into alcohol and more into cocktails, more into the bar menu. There's been a lot of like copycat, Me Too, sort of money porn, as we say. Say for example, the Negroni is doing well now. Everybody's doing a Negroni, right?
Yeah.
But
Not
some people
just
are doing
a Negroni,
terribly.
a barrel-aged Negroni,
Yeah.
which didn't sell yesterday, so we'll put it in a barrel and sell it a year later. I do agree with you, but I feel, the bartenders in India, they have one hand tied behind their back with the restrictions that are there.
Yeah, that's